Good morning. It's been a minute. And I had to take some time to live a little, I guess, process a lot. And I'm not finished, but I think I have something to say. So, as always, the truth lies here. Sometimes without being crazy, life can just be crazy, but then in the attempt to have perspective and have everything in its right place, or see everything in its right place, it just takes a moment. And this one's about me. I think they're all about me, but it's me sharing with you. I think what's going on is me having or feeling or trying to come into alignment with how I see myself, not really in the entire world or an entire universe, but just how I see myself, right? And how I feel about how the world sees me. And then determining, am I okay with that? So I can continue on that path, or if I feel like that's not just kind of coming to terms with that. I guess that's the best way to put it. And I've come up with, I don't know what it feels like, and then just questions. And I don't know, this is going to sound, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to sound like, but I had to get it out. So, I understand that we all have purpose. Like, our place in this fabric is purposeful. And I'm okay with that. I reconcile that. I actually, my mindset aligns with that. So I don't scoff at that. I don't feel used because of that, because I do understand that that is, in essence, a perspective of the truth. And that also goes for my place in people's lives. And I think what I'm having a hard time dealing with right now is how much I lean into being of use and being valued. And I know it's weird, and I may be splitting hairs, but in my heart, it just, I'm tired of being of use to people, and I want to feel valued. And it's almost like I don't want to have, it's almost, sometimes I feel like I almost don't want to have anything to offer, right? I want to be seen as not a commodity, and then see how many people actually just love me because I exist. Outside of my family, I know that my family, my children, my parents, my siblings, my aunties, my uncles, like I know my family, I know that they love me, right? And I also feel like in an abstract way that I'm of use to them in their life, but some people can't even articulate or quantify what that usefulness is. They don't even understand what that is to even say what it is. So they just express it in, I love you and I value you because of who you are and what and who you are to them or who you are to me, right? So it doesn't feel the same as when you come into someone's life and they have needs, wants, and desires, and they're choosing you based off of how you fulfill those. And I know that that's kind of the point, but then it's not. And especially for me, coming from where I came from, as far as my own emotional development and my own self-esteem, my own feelings of self-worth, getting to this point, it's important for me to understand and to embrace my own intrinsic value, meaning just my existence is worthy of so much love and respect and honor. And I can honestly say I did not feel that for a very long time outside of my home. And I'm talking about outside of the people who love me because we share blood. So my children and then my family, no disrespect to any of the women that I've been married to or have share and parent children with. But there's a difference when you're related. And it's a different connection. Not necessarily for everyone, because some people, they're bonded through, the vows and the promises that they came together to form a family, with God or whatever religion that you chose to signify and thank for your union with another adult. But the children that you may have, co-created or contributed to, because we don't necessarily create, we're just vessels. But those children share, each one of you, your blood. They're like literally blood related to you. So there's a difference there. But to get back to my point, I think it's just I've always felt of use, and I've always leaned into that. And that's always been an identity point for me. And now I can realize, or I can accept that I actually did that and took that into myself. So me and my attributes being of use to my own life and my own existence has caused me to actually alienate myself when I fall short of my own expected usefulness and traits to my own self. It's weird, right? But if my role in my life is to provide and protect me, and I can clearly lay out, plan, and plot and strategize what I need to plan and protect and provide for my life. And sometimes I fall short. When I fall short because of that same relationship with people outside of me, I see myself the same way. So when I fell short in those moments with people outside of me, eventually I've been categorized as no longer useful, no longer attractive, and disposable. Replaceable is a better word, because I don't think anybody's thrown me away. I just think that I've been replaced and put in another place, which is fine. That's just the nature of things. But I've also taken that on as a view of how I see myself. And I'm trying to come into some type of realignment. Actively going through it. But in that, it's causing me to really be mindful and careful and thoughtful about how I connect with others during this time. And because unfortunately, even in these moments, you still don't want to be alone. Like, I don't want to be alone. So it's figuring it out. But if I was, not necessarily going to diagnose, but if I was going to articulate some pathology or just really just say, this is how I'm feeling, it's like, I don't want to be satisfied with not being consistently and purposely not at my best, but I don't have a lot of grace for myself. So it's easy for me to justify others not having grace for me. And that is hard to get around, because if I justify it for myself in my own life, how could I call someone else out for doing the same thing? And so that's where I'm at. And I know that the people that are in my life, or even attempting to be in my life, I know they feel it, because it's not okay anymore. There's no excuses. Oh, you're entitled to your opinion, but I ain't got to stay around and stick around for you to figure out that I'm worthy, even when I fall short. And I don't have to be okay with it. I can understand it and I can respect it, but if I can't fuck with it, then I can't fuck with it. And doing those things simultaneously may sound confusing, but the reality is I'm not going to fault you for how you feel and how you see me, but I'm also not going to allow you to continue to benefit or to even have me in your presence if you can't appreciate me, not what I do, not what I provide, not what I enable you to be able to do, but just me. Because in the end, I know my babies, my children, and you know who I'm talking about, like when there's nothing else that I can give them, they're going to be there for me and they're going to love me like when I was on top of the world. And that's what I need in my life. Because they know that I love them that way. And they have all the emotions. They get upset if they miss me. We cry, we laugh, we love, we get frustrated, all those things. But at the end, I know it's just me and they know it's just them. And if I can't let nothing else next to me. I can't. I mean too much to me. I mean too much to me to accept, to allow anything less than that next to me. And that's it. There's more. But we'll talk about that next time. Truth Lies Here.